All right, y'all. We're back at it. I hadn't seen Phil Spencer's podcast, but I've had a lot of people tell me exactly what they witnessed. And let me tell you now, it wasn't pleasant. Oh no, it wasn't pleasant at all. And I'm gonna tell you just like that. It wasn't pleasant. It wasn't pleasant. No. I'm gonna tell you that Phil Spencer, Spewing Spence, he knows exactly what he's doing. I know it, you know it, and the whole world knows it. So,
hello and welcome to the official Xbox podcast. I'm your host, Tina Amini.
We're going to watch it right now. This is the first one, I'm supposing. That's what everybody's been saying. This is the first Xbox podcast with Phil Spencer, because this is a new thing that they're trying out. So, I'm willing to give it a chance. I don't know how much of a chance, but I'm willing to give it a chance. But we will see just how far we allow Phil's dirty Spence to spew. We'll figure it out. How do you guys like the Black Knight's new mask? Yes, this is a brand new mask that I'm trying out. And so far, it's making me feel powerful. Now, let's get into Phil spewing.
And we have a very special episode today, as you can probably tell by the fact that I'm joined by Phil, Sarah, and Matt. Welcome. And we're going to talk about some updates at Xbox. We want to talk about game exclusivity. We want to talk about Activision Blizzard, now that they're part of our portfolio, how that might be an impact on Game Pass. And we want to talk about hardware, too, and how all of this fits into the strategy at Xbox. So where should we start, Phil?
Well, when we originally had planned for the show, starting back in December, I think we probably would have started with Activision Blizzard, maybe talked a little bit about the exclusivity with some of the news coming up, and then hardware. But we've had some unforeseen news that has come out, so let's just go and tackle the exclusivity question, because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. And that's an important input for us. So we made the decision that we're going to take 4 games to the other consoles. Just 4 games. Just changed our fundamental exclusive strategy.
Wow.
It is, we're making these decisions for some specific reasons. We make every decision really with the long-term health of Xbox in mind. And long-term health of Xbox means a growing platform, our games performing, building the best platform for creators, reaching as many players as we can. We're always looking to learn as a leadership team and to grow. And we think this is an interesting point in time for us to use what some of the other platforms have right now to help grow our franchises. So
they got really awesome exclusive games. That's what you don't have right now. You're right.
I'm not going to name those games. The teams that are building those games have announced plans that are not too far away. As we know, game teams put a lot of energy into their announcements with the partners. So I don't want to take anything away from those teams. So I won't be talking about the titles specifically, but I think when they come out, it'll make sense.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Well, what was the criteria and how the team was thinking about selecting those 4 titles?
Let me start a little bit outside of that, and then I'll get to the 4 specific games that we're talking about right now.
It doesn't cost you a thing.
The fundamental decision driver for any decision that we make, anything we're going to talk about today, is the long-term health of that we're running a growing platform that is reaching more players, that our games are having as much success as possible. And I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years, exclusive games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game industry. And that's not some great insight, because if you look at the last 10 years and what the biggest games are today, it's a natural place. Whether it's one console and PC, multiple consoles, mobile console and PC, you see big games landing on multiple platforms. And we want to be a great platform for creators that are trying to realize that potential. But now back to the specifics of the question on these four specific titles. We looked at games that are over a year old, so they've been on Xbox and PC for a while. A couple of the games are community-driven new games that kind of first iteration of the franchise that have reached their full potential, let's say, on Xbox and PC. It was always growth. Franchises that we obviously want to continue to invest in. Part of having the ability to continue to invest is that the businesses behind those franchises continue. I think it's important that these services communities behind them, that they can have confidence that they're going to exist in the future. So two of them, kind of community-driven games that will end up on other platforms and give us the ability to continue to invest in them. That's great for the business and great for the community.
You sure have come on here to spew today. You're trying to make it
two of the other games are smaller games that were never really meant to be platform exclusive and all the fanfare that goes around that. But games that our teams really wanted to get built, that we love supporting creative endeavors across our studios. And as they realize their full potential on Xbox and PC, we see an opportunity to utilize the other platforms as a place to
utilize your own platform.
Business value.
What are you talking about, Phil?
Allowing us
you can't utilize what you have already.
Maybe
and you try to utilize other platforms, Phil.
Or just other things like that.
Doesn't make no sense.
And when we don't damage Xbox and we can grow our business using what other platforms have to help us with that, we're going to do that. And that's really the story behind these four games. And last thing I'll say, looking forward, I think there is an interesting story for us of introducing Xbox franchises to players on other platforms to get them more interested in Xbox. We think there's a good brand value for Xbox there. So 4 games, no promise beyond that. All those other platforms, and you see
Xbox fans out there tripping out because they can't get Helldivers.
Everything's coming. It's not.
Oh, Phil, what about Street Fighter? Remember you promised us?
We're thinking about the future and the live service games that can benefit from bigger audiences. How does it apply to future titles and how you're applying that criteria there?
Yeah, there's really no fundamental change to how we think about exclusivity. We just came out of Developer Direct, which was an awesome show, where we showed great games that are coming to Xbox and PC and cloud, which really makes them accessible to hundreds of millions of people. So it's just kind of, we're really focused on a couple platforms.
Your favorite game is this.
But our key of play the games you want, with the people you want, anywhere you want, when anybody play it.
And that's the problem, Phil.
These have been part of our strategy for years, and will continue to be. Our focus is on how do we continue to grow the games industry by reaching more players in more places, and how do we grow Xbox as part of that. Xbox is a hardware platform, Xbox is a publisher of great games, and Xbox as a platform for the world's best creators.
And then knowing that, how do we think about our first-party games and Game Pass?
Yeah, well, to build on what Phil just said, one thing I would add, when you were talking about growth, is just that we've sort of seen this inversion over the last 5 years where
Matt Booty is okay with this?
The platform was the
Matt Booty.
That's right.
And the games was
Don't tell me that you're a double agent too.
Today,
are you in Phil's
Roblox or Fortnite could actually be bigger than any one platform. And that really has changed the way that we think about it. So in the midst of all that, we at First Party can come back with some core principles. First, all of our games will be on the Xbox platform. Second, all of our games will go into Game Pass on day one. And third, we know that Game Pass will only be available on Xbox. So these are sort of starting points.
Nobody else wants that crap.
Phil mentioned there are games
you offered it to Sony. You offered it to Nintendo.
On Xbox.
Nobody else wants that crap. It doesn't work.
We want to bring more of our games to more players. So we're going to continue to look at that. Kind of moving aside, though, from some of those and thinking more about what does it really mean for the player, to me, the two key things are cross-play and cross-save. Those things allow us to deliver on the promise of Xbox, which is play with your friends where they are, play on the devices you want, play the games you want. So that is really only possible at a practical level when you know that your saves and your player are going to be able to move across all those parts. So not all of our games today are necessarily built to take advantage of that. There still will be some games that don't. As we bring more teams into the Xbox family, there's some catch-up to do to get there for that. cross-play,
Third party
cross-save
sound cool.
is like so fundamental to what we're doing, and I think it's something that we as first party get such a good benefit from being so close to the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the things, like you said, all of our games are always in Game Pass. And so I'm excited to announce, you know, with the coming together that we had with Activision Blizzard King, that Activision Blizzard games are coming to Game Pass, starting with Diablo 4 on March 28th, which I'm super excited to share today. And it's all part of our commitment to make Xbox the Xbox experience and the game that we build as widely available as possible. Now the 34 million Game Pass members can all enjoy the fantastic experience of Diablo 4.
Amazing. Can we come back to the point, so you mentioned at the top, this isn't really a change in strategy for us. Can you recap for me how it isn't?
Yeah, and I thought both Matt and Sarah did a really nice job of talking about what we're doing on Xbox, where we're going.
You did a really good job.
A feature like Xbox
Dirty Phil is who I call you.
which has been a promise that we've made on our first party game. Buy our virtual one, and you can play across Xbox. I think we're the only platform that does this. That makes it possible for you not only to play with your friends, but to know that you actually have multiple entitlements to the game. I think that's a technology I'd love to see applied to more platforms. But it is this view.
Just say you want third party. It's going to piss off some people, but at least you're being truthful and honest.
Play the games you want with the people you want, anywhere you want, whether it's content community and cloud, whether it's when everybody plays, we all win. Like, we've had different taglines, different strategy, kind of words that we've used, but always with this view that Xbox is a platform for creators who want to reach the most players. Our investments in xCloud, our investments in franchises like Minecraft and now Call of Duty and other large franchises so that we learn how to build those. This has been a strategy that we've been on for, I'd say, a decade. It's not about one device. It's not about games in service of a device, but rather devices that people want to play on.
It's not about being on just Xbox. It's about being anywhere there's internet. If you have internet,
really a
you have
healthy
Game Pass.
community on Xbox, a healthy creator community in gaming
always suck,
is the thing that all of us as
you don't know how to fly straight, Phil.
because
But
that's
the Black Knight,
to the best
I will teach you. Oh, Phil.
And my understanding, just from
You will
listening
learn.
and learning from you three over the past few weeks, just
You will
understanding
learn.
what's happening with Xbox, is that we see trends with player behavior where
I'm gonna teach you.
people are playing on multiple devices. That is the reality. And we
gonna
have
teach you,
put some
Dirty
games
Phil.
out on multiple platforms before. So my understanding is that that's
I'm
been
gonna
good for
teach
players.
you,
How does that
Dirty
come back to
Phil.
business with all of
You
that?
make your own rules. You live by your own
We have
rules.
shipped games on
But
the
I'm gonna
platform. In
come
fact,
in and disrupt everything.
realistically, if you
Phil.
look with the
You
addition of
have
Activision
no
Blizzard and
idea.
we're one of the largest game publishers on PlayStation. We're one of the largest publishers
You have messed
on
up, Dirty
Nintendo
Phil.
Switch, especially when you put Minecraft into the equation as well. And now we're one of the largest publishers on mobile platforms as well.
Yeah, 'cause
and
you're
that's
a
not
jackass.
something
Yeah.
that we want to back away from. We
Tell
want to
me the
continue
truth,
to be
Phil.
building
Tell me the
great
truth.
games that millions and millions of people can love.
Oh, you're such a
Places
liar.
where they want to go play.
Spew.
But we do understand the business success that Xbox has to have.
Spew.
Us as leaders in this business,
That's what we all come to
the
see.
system that all
We all
companies
come
have
to
led
watch
video
Phil
games from
spew.
is a world of you got to be growing your
Spew.
business.
You're sick, Phil?
Growth in
You're
our
sick.
Xbox business is critical to the long-term health of Xbox. Many people know I've been on Xbox for over 20 years, and I want to make sure Xbox is in the best position for the next 20 years. That means healthy player community, healthy creator community, and healthy business. So when we look at
You really
opportunities
suck.
to allow
You don't have no clue,
more people to
pal.
engage, more people to buy, more people to subscribe,
Don't you
it's
think
all
that you've
about
already
putting
done
Xbox
enough?
in the best position. And our hardware is a critical component of that. The absolute best experience
Please,
somebody has on Xbox is hardware that your team knows and that people play on. But that's not going to be everybody. We've
tired
fully
of it.
accepted that we're going to have Xbox players across all kinds of devices.
So I think a lot of people think about 2023 as this incredible year for gaming, and in a lot of ways it was. There were some really amazing releases that I think we all enjoyed. But what were the signals behind the scenes that maybe indicated how we wanted to look at the future of Xbox and how we kind of keep up with the industry?
Yeah, such a good question. And I think it's, as people who care about the industry, which I assume is people who are watching this, It was an amazing year. Some great launches. Some of the games that I think will stand the test
But
of
it's
time.
obvious
We'll be
that
talking
you
about
don't care about the industry, Phil.
But it's an industry that
You've
didn't
turned
really
your
grow.
back on the Xbox community.
And what happens when an
I'm
industry
sick of
doesn't
it.
grow?
Go spew somewhere else.
You end up with some job
Xbox fans retire.
that even our own
Retired.
decisions to make about
We don't get Halo diverse. We don't get anything.
But in no way will we
You know
alone.
why? Because you suck.
When you think about a healthy industry, I want players who believe that they will find the best games on the platforms that they love. I want people who invest their careers in working here to feel like this is a place that they can be successful. And that really is down to being part of an industry that is growing. If you listen to Lisa Su, the AMD CEO, she'll say that AMD-powered consoles are likely to decline in 2024. I think there's an amazing set of games coming in 2024, but if we don't get to growing as an industry, the industry will struggle. And today there's really two choices on how do you grow the industry. Do you say I have a fixed number of players, the players that we have today, and do I find new ways to monetize those players to get more money from the players that
Well,
I
it seems
have?
like you found new
Or
ways to
think
spew.
about how do I expand
Right
the
up.
business I have
Dirty
by
Phil.
finding new players and adding those
Right
to the
up,
players
Dirty
that
Phil.
already play. Our focus on Xbox
You're a
for the
liar.
last decade has
Phil,
really been on
you're a
that
liar.
last point
Complete obituary.
of how do we make sure Xbox is growing for our players,
Fire on you. That's how we make sure it grows.
so those people are
Getting
finding
you
it
off the
successful,
cabinet.
on our platform,
Taking you off.
grow the Xbox business, and put Xbox
Taking you off, Phil. That's how we grow.
for years.
We grow by getting rid of you, Phil.
Matt, earlier
Dirty
you were
Phil.
talking
That
about
likes
these
to
growing
spew.
gaming
We gotta get rid of you,
communities. They're
Dirty Phil.
incredibly large.
Sooner the better. Get rid of Dirty Phil,
such
and
a
we
different
shall
level when we
flourish.
think about console audiences. Like you mentioned Roblox, you mentioned Fortnite. So how are we're obviously thinking about our responsibility, our hardware responsibility is supporting the growth of gaming communities. How has that actually shown up for the players? Are there other games we can speak to from our portfolio?
Well, as Phil mentioned, I mean, two of the biggest
I'm
ones
so
for us,
sick of
Call of
hearing
Duty and
portfolio.
Minecraft. I mean, they are
Portfolio.
driven just
You
from
don't
the
hear
bottom
that,
up by
man.
the communities of people that play those games.
You gotta build up a
Which is so
portfolio
great. I think
first, instead of giving them
As a
away.
player,
You even got
comes down
games
to
yet, and
where's the
you're
friends,
starting to give 4 away,
and then
and then it goes from 4
is
to 20
where
to 30
you built up your
to your whole
base,
spew.
right? Where's
And if
the-
you put
where's
Halo
the-
and Gears on there, oh, buddy, you're through.
those two things probably are some of the biggest influences on where people choose to play and what devices they choose
Absolutely.
to play.
Yeah.
When we think about, on the other side, the developer side, just any game developer wants their game to find the biggest audience possible. That's just the nature of building a game. You want people to enjoy and participate in what you've made. And I think we're in a unique position to deliver on that just because we are the platform. We build hardware, we've got a first-party games group, and then we've got a system that ties that together, that brings together your friends, your progression, your achievements, all of that. And I think that's really what has contributed to the momentum behind some of these communities.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at, just step back and you look at the history of the industry, we've moved from a place
No,
where it
what you
used
need to
to
do is
be
look at the
that
history of
someone
Phil
built and
Spencer's
launched a
spewing.
game to accelerate
And
hardware,
spewing.
to actually the things we do with our hardware and with our
Oh, the
platform,
lies,
we're all in
the lies
service
that
of
he's
making
given
those
us.
games bigger. And we
They're
think about
very
that from all of the
unbearable.
investments we make, the consoles we
Yeah.
build, the investments we do with things like cross-play, cross-progression, the things that we're doing with cloud. How do we actually give more options to game creators so they can have the greatest success? I think one of the fun recent examples about this is actually Power World. You know, Power World was able to launch, they were a game preview, they launched in Game Pass, they also simultaneously launched in Steam. And through the combination of those things, you know, Pocket Pair was able to have this outsized success, and it was the largest third-party Game Pass launch ever. And that's all because we give creators options on how they can launch their games. We've got subscription, we've got retail, we've got free-to-play, we've got game preview, we have the consoles, we have our experience on PC, and they can access all of those things. And when we step back and we just look at the performance of our platform all up, we know it's working. We're at the highest level of users on console, the highest level of users on PC, the highest level of users on cloud ever. We have double-digit growth rate on PC and cloud, places where we're enabling creators to actually reach new players beyond the console ecosystem. And that's why we're leaning into it and doing more, because we see all those signals.
So we're talking about the role that hardware plays for creators, for the games and those communities. What about the role that hardware plays for us as a business, for Xbox?
When we look at our hardware, it really is, and Phil said this earlier, it's where you get like the most flagship seminal experience of Xbox.
What?
And it also represents
What did you
developers.
just say?
Our developers can build the specs of our
Oh.
hardware, and we invest in when they do that the games are going to run great on our hardware, but they're also going to be accessed across any
I'm so sick of hearing that.
all the other investments we make.
Xbox is
So we're
the
giving
best
them an
place to
easy
play.
way
Play
to
what?
access as many
You
players as
fool you.
possible. And we actually have more creators right now building for Xbox than ever before. By nature,
Yeah.
thousands of them. By nature, of those investments. And we got more to come. There's some exciting
Right.
stuff coming out in hardware.
What do you
We're
mean
going to
more
share
to
this
come?
holiday.
Like what? I wanna
We've
hear this.
also invested in the next generation. And
Oh.
what we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building.
And then when we're talking about hardware too, there's these other considerations that are really important to our community, probably to each one of ourselves as well. When you talk about library, because I want to dig in on that a little bit more. You know, as we talk about cloud and the
Look at
wider
him. He put his
entertainment
head
industry,
down.
there's
He doesn't know
conversations
what
about
to say.
streaming. How is that impacting
I wanna
how
hear
I
the
own my
answers.
content that I've invested in? So what can we say about our stance around game preservation?
Yeah, you know, one of the highlights for me of being in this position was getting to stand on stage when we announced Back Compat coming to Xbox One. Like, it was fantastic. People were reading the teleprompter before I could read it. Slow reader, and just feeling the energy in the auditorium as we were saying that and online. You know, one of the cues I think us as being part of Microsoft take is looking at Windows and how Windows over decades has maintained software compatibility with things that are built on it. Like, I can still go back and play some of the games that I love playing on Windows from decades ago,
Like Voodoo
and it will
West.
still run. And we try to bring that same view to consoles. It's harder in console because the line between what the hardware is and what the game is in consoles is traditionally, it's tighter, which makes compatibility, you end up doing these generational compatibilities that we've built. But I will say compatibility, the ability to not only play the games, but my saves are still there with our cloud save systems to try to keep the services up as long as we can so that people can play, is a tenet of what we are as Xbox. It's at our foundation. And when we look at future hardware generations and what we're going to support, making sure that we respect, which is the word I use, respect the investments that people have made in Xbox going forward is fundamental. And the fact that you get entitlements when you buy a game from us on both Windows and Xbox also means you have the ability to play that game across a multitude of devices, which I think furthers the compatibility of the games that you own.
Mm-hmm. Can we go back to what Xbox stands for today? I think we've pretty much covered all of the elements, but if you could break it down for me.
You know, when you play on Xbox, what we're saying is you're playing on a platform where you know the biggest games in the world are always going to be. You're playing on a platform where you get to access Game Pass. And all of the games from our incredible range of studios will always launch in Game Pass day one. And you're playing on a platform that's dedicated to you, like player-first features, cross-play, cross-save, cross-progression, backwards compatibility, being able to play your games in your library anywhere you want because of the investments that we make in cloud gaming. And so you're playing somewhere where you're investing and you know you get to take the games forward with you and across all of the screens where you are. And I think most importantly, Xbox is a place where you know when you're investing in Xbox, you're investing somewhere that is dedicated to making games more successful and creators more successful so that they can invest more to bring even better experiences to you all of the time.
Yeah, just that investment in the studios is so, and we feel that as part of First Party with the platform proximity. You know, it's kind of amazing now to look out across all the studios we've got and just be reminded that we're now one of the biggest development organizations in the industry. What does that mean for players? It means that the biggest games are going to continue to come to Xbox. And this 2024, the year coming up, we've got more than 10 major releases coming up. Great stuff. Hellblade 2. We've got Diablo expansion. We've got Avowed, Ara, the Indiana Jones game. And there's more in development, which I think we're going to be able to share more about at our June showcase coming up pretty soon.
Well, I guess I should get ready to work on that show. Well, thank you all for showing up on the podcast today, and we'll see the rest of you this June.
Yeah.
Thanks, team.
Thank you.
Wow. That's it, huh, Dirty Phil? Is that truly it, Dirty Phil? It must be. So, alright, my thoughts about what I just witnessed. They say, well, for right now, that only 4 games are going to other platforms, but I just feel like this is a gateway. I feel like they're just testing out 4 games. And if these 4 games do well on these other platforms, it'll turn into a red box. It'll start putting other things in there and other things in there just to see if this works. If it works, it's going to be a permanent thing. They're able to say that nothing else is coming right now. I've also heard Phil say, for right now, but we never know how the future looks. So what we want to do is just take it as a grain of salt. Everything is coming everywhere. Microsoft will never be just Xbox ever again. It's going to be PC, Sony, Nintendo. It's going to be everywhere, man. At some point, Xbox will be everywhere. And they are going to step away. They might still be doing consoles, but just for a certain amount of time. I think they're going to leave that alone too at a certain point. You know what I mean? But this is just a gateway opening up to something far worse than just 4 games. You know what I mean? I think it's going to get a lot worse. I think it's going to be horrific, man. You know what I mean? Just to think about a Hellblade or a Gears or a Halo or, you know, just games, period, that we always know for picking up controllers like this and just going to town on Xbox games, you know what I mean? To know that we can pick up any controller, not just the Xbox controller, but pick up any controller and play any Xbox game. It just sucks for gamers, you know what I mean? Xbox gamers, you know what I mean? Like, to come to the realization that Microsoft has truly changed all the way around and changed for themselves, not for the gamers who have gotten them this far. If it wasn't for the gamers purchasing things that they've given out, which they've given out more of, consoles and controllers and attachments and all of these Elite controllers and Elite 2 controllers, and, you know, it's so much hardware and not no software. It really frustrates me to see the Xbox community still trying to protect Phil Spencer, still trying to protect his spewing and his pooping and doodling on everybody. You know what I mean? We shouldn't have to put up with that kind of crap. You know what I mean? And he just keeps at it. He keeps going and keeps going. You know what I mean? So there's no telling how far he's willing to go. You know what I mean? I think from here on out, they're going to test waters. They're going to test different areas of different things and then start doing that. You know, you got to, just like people always have said here and there, that you have to speak with your wallet. You know what I mean? They can only do as much as you pay them to do. You know what I mean? That's the reason why we got Game Pass, because we wasn't buying games. We wasn't buying games, barely buying their consoles. We forced them kinda to go this route. If you think about it, we wasn't buying physical games, we wasn't buying digital games. I just feel like at some point the industry is going to go that way, not just Xbox, but I just feel like Sony's going to be Sony, Xbox is going to be Xbox, and Nintendo is going to be Nintendo. And I think they're just going to use their name on a certain device or somewhere, even if it's just on certain TVs that come out or wherever it may be. You're probably going to be able to buy a little device that you can just plug in anywhere and just play any Sony games that are just launching or Xbox games or whatever it is. It's going to be on one little device. You can be able to play Nintendo games, Xbox games, and PlayStation games from that device. They'll have their own areas. You pick Xbox, tap into Xbox all the Xbox games show up. You tap into PlayStation, all PlayStation games show up, and Nintendo, and so on and so on. They'll have their own area, so that way they'll get paid by their games. You know what I mean? But I think it will all be one platform, and everybody has their own area. And wherever gamers want to play, and however they want to play, they're going to be able to do it right there in one place. You know what I mean? So we can be looking forward to that, man. I know we don't like it, but this is how they make their money. You know, at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I mean? Do the Black Knight like it? The Black Knight does not like it. I've been an Xbox game player for a lot of years, you know what I mean? And to find out that I don't need to buy the next generation console to play my favorite games, it just suck. You know what I mean? I'm still waiting for them to announce the next Gears of War. I'm not really too much passionate about Halo anymore, but Gears is my thing, you know what I mean? I love Gears, but all we can do is wait, you know what I mean? With the technology getting more and more tech-savvy, it's getting more and more tech-savvy, so it's a lot more difficult to create these games. It takes a lot longer to create these games, you know what I mean? So we just gotta wait. I ain't gonna say be patient, because there's so many things going on in between all of the games, you know what I mean? There's so much waiting, there's so much them coming out and showing a short trailer, and what we're seeing on these trailers we're not going to get when the game finally launches, and all of these type things, man. It's heartbreaking to see Microsoft slowly going away. You know what I mean? I don't think they're ever going to go away, but as far as like game launches and then having special shows for their games and all, I think those days are far in between. They're very, very slim. You know what I mean? I just think Xbox celebration days are over. I think they've given up. They didn't want to verbally say it. I don't know why that is. They were the tuck tail to go run and hide. That's why I call Phil Dirty Phil, because he likes to do a whole lot of dirty things when it comes to gaming. You know what I mean? He loves to spew. And that's why sometimes I call him a jackass, you know what I mean, because he does jackassish things. I just feel like, I wish that they would, like I said earlier, a little while ago, I wish they would just come out and tell us the complete deal, you know what I mean, because they're buying all these things just for them to keep putting our stuff on PlayStation or Nintendo. What was it, Cuphead? I think Cuphead went over to Nintendo. Like, it starts off, like I said, and Cuphead went over there, right? And they got sales from there. And that's why Microsoft is trying Sony, and they're trying this, and they're trying that. Wherever it's going to stick at, wherever it sticks, that's where they're going to start putting them on. So if it works for PlayStation, having Xbox games over there, that's what they're going to do. You know what I mean? And ain't nothing we can do about it, you know? But, you know, all we can do at the end of the day is just wait and see. You know, I'm still going, like everybody else that complains too, I'm still going to buy their console, next generation console, and the next PlayStation, you know what I mean, next Nintendo, because I love to give the newest content. So whenever they launch, I will be having them day one, or I'm going to try to. You know how crazy that can get. With new consoles and games and stuff getting launched, you know what I mean, people lose their mind. So we'll see how that goes. But if it's up to me, I will have everything day one. But we'll see how clean that you know, because it's the middle of already too. That's crazy. It's the middle of this generation. So we'll see. You know what I mean? They said that these next consoles are going to be able to do 8K 60, and then so on and so forth. So I'm still going to play in. I'm still going to play a 4K 120 if they have that option. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do is get on here. Everybody was talking about the show, and I hadn't seen it, so I wanted to check it out. So I jumped on here just to check it out, and you know, I'm disappointed. especially when the show first came on, it's like he ain't got no shame. He went straight into, yeah, we're releasing just 4 games. Okay, if it's 4 games, that's more than one. So if these do well in other areas, what's gonna happen after that? They'll try 4 more? I just wanna know, I'm curious, I'm not being sarcastic, I'm just saying, are you gonna try more than just those? Because it's highly irritating not knowing you guys' full game plan. You guys tell us bits and pieces, and as an OG Xbox gamer, you know what I mean? That's kind of offensive, you know what I mean? I've been dealing with Microsoft shenanigans even when the 360 had the red ring of death. Calling in, just trying to get some service was hard, you know what I mean? I've always had problems with Xbox. And maybe subconsciously, that's why I like them so much. You know what I mean? Because I've been through so much with them, you know what I mean? I think that's why I like them so much, because through their ups and downs, I've always been there. But it seems like every time they have a down moment, that they never learn from it and do better. They always do worse and worse and worse. Always turn off their fans and people that's been supporting them forever. You know what I mean? They still haven't gotten any, even though they say they're coming, any games that's just for Xbox. You know what I mean? It always comes off of Xbox and PC. It's just crazy. Now they got Game Pass. Now they giving some of the games over to PlayStation, but I really remember the Black Knight said it here first. I really think this is just a test the waters to see if it works. If it works, they're going to start putting everything over there, slowly over time. Boom, boom, boom. We got 2 more going, 3 more going. It's just these 3 guys. 2-3 years go by, 8 more going. It's just these 8 guys. And so keep going from there, you know what I mean? But the Black Knight won't fall for it. I'm smarter than the average cat, you know what I mean? So I told Phil, everywhere he looks, everywhere he goes, he's going to think of me. He's going to see my face, the Black Knight. So let me know, man, if you guys can, man, down in the chat. Whenever you see this, let me know what you think about the new mask. You guys like it, or what do you think? It looks crazy to me, especially from the inside looking out, you know what I mean? The Black Knight said he needed some new clothes, so I went and bought some new clothes, and he wanted a new helmet and new mask and all these different things. So he said he was getting tired of just wearing one mask week to week, so he wanted to change up a little bit here and there. So wouldn't get my thing to getting suited up. So I hope you guys like it. You know what I mean? We got a whole lot more things to come. But I just wanted to jump on here and watch this and give my feedback, my comments on what I think about this. But I love y'all, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love y'all, man. Y'all put God first, man, because he's always going to put you first. Peace.